Oh, that's a big question of what I have been in the last 40 years. I'm Honorable General Elly Tumwine'S, Elly Tumwine'S, and the last 40 years that you want me to say what I've been doing was years of freedom fighting. Since actually more than 40 years, since 1979, I have been involved with the liberation struggle in Uganda. After the 79 war, which was again about removing Idi Amin, after that, then in 1981, we started the NRM Bush War, in which we participated, and I became the overall commander. When we captured power, became the army commander, became Minister of State for Defense, served as presidential advisors, chairman, general court martial, and member of parliament since 1986 to 2021. And now I'm senior presidential advisor on security. But more than that, that's for the official things. I have transited from being a young boy to a young man to a grandfather, which is important for me. And also I'm a serious farmer, I'm a preacher, and I love preaching about spiritual things, and I teach young people and old people about what I think every citizen should learn, which I call knowledge for life, which is different from just academic knowledge. Knowledge for life is that knowledge which every citizen of the world need to know. And I find it very fascinating in relation to the liberation of our people, which is part of the freedom fighting. Because much of what we did was not about fighting with guns. That was once in a while when we would go to attack an enemy camp or what, but most of the time since then has been about teaching. Teaching to transform people's minds, teaching to make people focus on how to transform our society. Right from the beginning. And I like singing because the songs make a very short but memorable statement. I like what we used to sing right from 1981. Kibonge chanini vijana wanahamia msituni. Kibonge chanini vijana wanahamia msituni. For those who don't know Swahili, it means, why did the young people go to the bush? Walienda huko msituni kupigania wananchi. Walienda huko msituni kupigania democracy. They went to the bush to fight for the people. They went to the bush to fight for democracy. They went to the bush to establish peace. So we would list them on why we went to the bush. So that keeps me reminded always of the purposes, the reasons why we went. And that's what I was saying. We kept teaching about that important aspect of how do we transform our society from how it was before, which was chaotic. Chaotic is the word. Actually, the preamble of the Constitution says Uganda in the previous years had gone through a lot of time, of trouble, a period which was characterized by instability. And that's the whole point, that we were trying to end that instability, to end the killings by the state, to end the misuse of power, so that the people of Uganda can enjoy their freedom as they are doing now. They can have democracy, they can have peace, there could be peace all over the country. And fortunately, as we talk about 40 years back, we have seen it. We have seen that transformation, steady, sure progress that has happened, and we have seen a young generation coming up. I'm very, very proud of that, because as we celebrate, we are going to celebrate the 26th January soon. It reminds us when we captured power how the situation was from that time and what it is now. Really, what has taken place is something to be proud of, especially if you see the transformation, physical and beyond what can even be seen with eyes. If you fly over Uganda, and for me, like, who likes to take photographs, when I'm like in a helicopter in the air, I take what is the photographs on the ground. When you move from Kampala to Kasese, when you move from Kampala to Busia, when you move from Kampala to Arua, the changes on the ground, how the country is being transformed physically, visibly, alone is very, very, very clear. Forget about those which cannot be seen, like education, and then the health of the people, how the children have all grown in much better conditions, the freedom and the freedom of the media, the freedom of worship, all those things which may not be seen visibly but which are known. And the challenge as we celebrate the NRM victory, the challenge, one of the weaknesses of the NRM revolution has been people not talking about it. We only talk about the bad things, and the negative people have really captured the platform, and they propagate a lot of negativity to the public and forget about a lot of positivity or positive things that have been done, and which I have always worked hard to ensure that people know what are the achievements of the NRM revolution, what has been transformed. If of course, nobody gets 100%, there is nobody who is perfect, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But the biggest room in the world is room for improvement, and that improvement is what we should now talk about. Where should we improve? Rather than say nothing has been done, there hasn't been any progress, when it is visibly there, right from infrastructure to other things that we see day to day. The image of Uganda alone, the image of Uganda in the world has really been transformed from what it was, and Uganda is taking its position at all levels, more so now even in sports, more so in aspects of life. You talk about Uganda and everybody knows where Uganda is and what it stands for. So the revolution, the 40 years of our struggle, of this liberation movement, the national resistance movement. The three words are very interesting. National means it's for the whole Uganda, all Ugandans, for purposes of ensuring unity of all Ugandans. Resistance and then movement, the two are contradictory. But the scientists tell us that there is no movement without resistance. Now, people who don't understand think that if there are people who are opposing you, they are bad. No. That's part of the resistance which you are supposed to move. The movement is supposed to break, to win, to defeat those resistance, obstacles or hindrances, to move forward. That's what moves you forward. It is the force against you that encourages you to do even better and better. And we have seen this all along, right from the beginning up to now. The more we were challenged, the better we performed. And that makes a big, big difference.
When we go back to the inception of the NRA,
The what?
The uniqueness of
the uniqueness of NRM are our values. Simple. The values of NRM, which were mainly based on a simple approach of being a pro-people movement and being a pro-people army. Deliberately, values which promote being pro-people, values which promote transforming the people. These include ensuring that there is integrity, ensuring that there is harmony, ensuring that there is unity, ensuring that there is participation, ensuring there is inclusiveness, ensuring that there is, of course, a lot of sacrifice, willingness to sacrifice for the future. The famous song that I like singing, sacrificing so that the future is better. Kino kyekisera mwe tulina okulwana mu biseera by'omu maaso tuwone magombe. Kino kyekisera mwe tulwanira mu biseera by'omu maaso tufune emirembe. For those who don't know Uganda, meaning this is the time. At every point in our history, we are saying every time is the right time to sacrifice for the better future. And that should not mean that even after the war or after what, we stopped. Up to now, I would tell Ugandans that let's do the best. Let's have short-term pain for long-term gain. And many people lose their long-term gain by wanting to enjoy their short-term gain. But for sacrifice, it means that you sacrifice now so that you have a better tomorrow. And I really want to take this opportunity to share, for example, my message which I'm sharing with people this year. And I'm telling everyone to deliberately determine to enjoy life this 2022. And the key word there is deliberately. You deliberately choose to do that, and it's a choice. Life is about love, choice, and sharing. But if I'm about love, if you do something with love, if you love God, love yourself, and love others, that will guide your choices. And your choices are the ones which determine what you will be, or what determines what you are now. Choice. Choice is the most important, one of the next important words of the three, which says that what we chose to do. For example, we chose to say, let's take a course that was tough, that was difficult, but which will save our future. That was by choice. And I call my gun Owesigisi, meaning that if the way you make your porridge, Owesigisi Shoma, is how you will drink it. So my gun was that I willingly offered myself, and therefore, whatever happened, it was my own choice. Now, choice, to deliberately choose to enjoy this year is your choice. If you choose not to enjoy the world will enjoy you. And if it needs sacrifice for now, for having a better tomorrow, it's a choice. So, please, with all that we have, the situation that we have now, where there is peace, where there is freedom, where there is harmony, it's up to what you choose. If you choose to look at the negative, a lot of negativity is around. If you choose to see the positive, a lot of positivity is around. And it goes with even couples or married people. If you look for your spouse, you only look for the negative, you'll find too much. But if you look for the positive, you'll find also too much. And it depends on your choice. That's why I'm saying the word choice. You choose deliberately for your life what you want to do. That's why you should be responsible for whatever you choose and take that responsibility. And if you don't choose, the world, in Christianity we say we fight against the flesh, against the devil, and against the world. They will pull you on Bernice and a stand, on Bernice and a stand. They are always there to pull you away from the right thing. But it is never too late to do the right thing. Any time is the right time to start doing the right thing. And therefore, deliberately determine to enjoy this year, 2022, and all that has passed, all the behind years that we have finished, can be made more blessed by what we do in the next years. That those have passed, but in this year, let's move forward. That's why we say songa mbele, move forward. God created human beings in a special way, with the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the hands, the sexual organs, the leg, all pointing in one direction. He could have put some eyes behind to look all around, and one ear up and the other facing this, but he deliberately made us move forward, and muscles behind to push us. So, songa mbele, songa mbele. That's why I have been singing there's going to be so much talk. Abogera abogere, Uganda songa mbere. Abogera abogere, Uganda songa mbere. Abe basebe bake, Uganda songa mbere. It's your choice. It's what you choose that will help you, now and in the future. And it is what will determine what you will become. Yes, the actually the background, what makes UPDF or NRA unique? That's a very, very good question that I enjoy answering. Yes, we had previous armies. We had the tribal armies, the kingdom armies before. We had tribal armies, kingdom armies, then colonial armies, and after that we started with having the colonial army. We are even called the King's African rivals, King George, not our king, and then Uganda army, and then UA and UNRA, who had become ant people. You ask all people of old age, they will say, you look at a soldier, run away, don't come near. And soldiers meant danger. So that situation was the most dangerous, which needed to be changed. And therefore, we deliberately, I like the word deliberately now, purposefully focused on how do we transform the young people to have a new type of armed force, the pro-people's army, and the pro-people's politics, and pro-people's government, and pro-people's ideas and strategies. That's the test. If something is not pro-people, then we are stand against it. And that philosophy has worked and has created a new type of armed force with discipline, with responsibility, and working together with the people. We even have the songs, we said, kazi ngumu tunayofanya na wananchi wenyewe tutamupiga adui na kumufukuza Uganda. That a good work we do with the wananchi, the good work we do with the population, because our work has always been in close touch with the people. That's what makes it unique. And it has proven worldwide to be a special type of armed force, and that's what has made it be successful on the continent of Africa, to be reckoned with. That new transformation, that basic guideline of the doctrine of the NRA, whose values are based on making sure that whatever you do must be pro-people.
Okay. And one of my second last question, I understand, we are...
The area of 1881 to 86, we commanded, I started right from Kawamba, I commanded section number 2, which captured the quarter guard. And later on, I commanded a unit called Kabarega, which was controlling the area of Kapeka area. And then I later on became, when I got injured, when I came from hospital, I was made the logistics officer of the NRA. And later I became the overall commander of NRA until we captured power, and I was made the army commander of Uganda, of NRA, and eventually which now became UPDF, and became Minister of State for Defense. So, but during the war, those were the responsibilities I held. And it was mainly about, not mine alone, but how we all worked together, how we contributed to the success of the NRA by each one putting in whatever he could put in. And we are grateful that even there, although some of our colleagues died, but they didn't die in vain. Their children have lived to see why their parents died, or those who survived, and the few who are still alive have seen what God had enabled us to do and contribute to. Whatever little somebody contributed, whether a soldier, whether mwananchi, or who, that little contribution for the liberation struggle has brought good results. No, the one which I would like is to encourage everyone, especially the young generation. Let them not despair by hearing all the negativity that is in the media. Let them look out on how to organize themselves. Let them organize. The future belongs to the organized and disciplined. Disaster awaits those who are disorganized and who are indisciplined. That's the best I can tell the young people. Organize, organize. In the Pan-African movement, we say, do not agonize, organize. And organizing includes or needs you to come together, sit down, discuss, have dialogue, analyze the situation, find solutions. Don't just be putting blame on everybody. I hear you blame government, blame all people. No, blame yourself. Find solutions to whatever problem that is there. It is your challenge. You are a generation which has free communication, easy communication, educated. Use those values you have to build higher values that will make Uganda a better country for you and for your children and great-grandchildren. That's my message, especially to the young people. But otherwise, my message is deliberately determined to enjoy this year.